So today we're going to talk about how to convey value, features versus benefits. This is a good episode. So we got a solid episode 20 discussion. Like, this thing could go in the right direction. It's possible. Like, it'll be a first, but it's possible. So, I've been talking to people in the industry. As you guys know, I'm an industry insider. I'm a big deal now. I've done 20 episodes of a podcast. So people ask me things, and one thing they do, people ask me stuff. I know it's hard to believe, but one thing people have been asking me, they've been asking me, "Hey, Ren, do you think it gets better? The whole COVID thing gets better, and as we approach the end of the year?" And I'm like, nope. So probably not. I know you guys are in Canada. The two of us are in Canada. Two of us in the southeastern United States. And I can tell you, the Southeast is blowing this thing, man. Like, whatever
you guys are not doing well.
We are not doing well.
You are not doing well.
Whatever your opinion is, and I know there's the whole mask gate thing. Like, I wear a mask, you don't wear it. Like, people are really incensed about that. But dude, let me tell you, like, down here in like Charlotte, North Carolina, we are not mask people down here. Like,
whatever your opinion is on masks, no masks, like, objectively, you guys are not doing well.
Objectively, yeah. I'm not saying whether you should be doing it or you shouldn't, but from an objective standpoint, we're screwing the pooch down
on
here
either
hard.
side.
Like, it's terrible down here. This is not a political show. We are not instructing you politically or ideologically what you should or shouldn't do. We're just saying that in the South, we're kind of shit in the bed. That's all we're saying.
This is why I like being in Canada, because nobody really pays attention to us.
Right.
So the nice thing about being in Canada is we can just basically sit back and just be like, we're just going to let you guys figure this one out. Right?
Canada's like the middle sibling.
Right.
Oh, 100%. Canada's always just like, yo, I'm going to just let you guys mess around with this for a little bit until you get it right. Then we're just going to take on from there. That's kind of what we do. That's kind of Canada.
And sorry.
Like, we're just going to kind of let you guys fight in all these wars, and then we're just going to join the side that we think is going to win.
Canada's just chilling. The United States is like, Canada, I didn't know you were here. And you're like, we were literally here the entire time you were here. like, we didn't know you guys were here. So Canada's chilling. We're screwing the pooch hard down here. But I really
some water,
right.
Like, that's kind of like, here's what we have to offer.
Right. But I really don't think it's getting better. Like, I'm seeing people on outside patios, man, and it looks like a family reunion at these outside patio restaurants. Like, even the waitress isn't wearing the thing, or none of that's going on.
I'll tell you what the big news is, though, in Canada. The big news in Canada right now is Hockey Night in Canada, which is like the most important thing that Canadians do,
right?
Which is the Saturday night hockey game, which used to be hosted by CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, has now officially been outsourced to NBC.
What?
In the U.S.
What?
And let me tell you, Canadians are not happy about this one iota. Canadians are very upset. It is the article that I read on Reddit this morning.
Oh no! Stay off the Reddit, John.
Said that Canadians have hosted all major hockey events internationally for the last decade, and they are by far better than Americans at it. This is what we're proud of, by the way, as Canadians. We don't really care about like any of the world leadership, like global currency stuff. Like, you could have that. Like, that's just a nightmare. Like, have that. Mess up COVID. Like, you guys do your thing. We'll get back on afterwards. But when you take our hockey broadcasting rights,
how dare you?
How dare you, sir?
Wait just a damn minute, America.
We are going to tighten up our borders and shut off our immigration website once more.
Oh my gosh!
Not let you.
Also, we need a Reddit intervention for Jonathan Goodman. If we have any Reddit counselors out there, we'll get you phoned in on the next episode, because we really need to have a strong conversation with Jonathan Goodman about Reddit. Also today, we're talking about how to convey value, features versus benefits. Yeah, but America's not doing well. You know what we could really use down here in America to help us sort of clear this stuff out? What? PT distinction. PT Distinction helps you grow your business, increase your earnings, and train more clients.
We
and
definitely, need a British online training software company. That's what the United States needs.
That's exactly what we need. Tim, can you get in here and solve this thing for us? PT Distinction. We've got a deal for PT Distinction. Your COVID relief, pandemic saving PT Distinction. You can go over to onlinetrainer.com/PTD. 60 days at no cost. I saw Jonathan pop the link into somebody's question today in one of the groups. They were like, should I do Trainerize or PT Distinction? And Jonathan cleverly pops in the PT Distinction link with the 60 days free. He's like, this should solve it for you.
Oh, nice. Well done.
Jonathan. Tim's very happy.
What I basically said is you'd have a very hard time to go wrong.
Right.
You know, like they're probably both going to be okay with you. But if this helps you make your decision faster,
right?
Yeah, get rolling.
Here's 60 days free. Like, sign up and just don't think about it.
It's like an angry conversation with your spouse. I will if it'll shut you up.
That's a new PC Distinction. The software that you sign up so that you shut up about it. There you go. Onlinetrainer.com/PTD gets 60 days and never talk about it again.
Jonathan, can you start this? Can you start the engine that is the Online Trainer Show?
No, you got to talk about the Online Trainer Academy.
I don't. Okay, all right. So we've also the OTA, better known as the Online Training Academy. It's we all graduated from it. One of us invented it. We'll let you figure out who through the podcast. But the OTA it easily provides the best solutions for online training. Whether you're a nutrition coach, whether you're a gym owner, whether you're a personal trainer, you can coach clients online responsibly and profitably with the Online Trainer Level 1 program. Go over to onlinetrainer.com/OTA. Academy. I think that's what it is. It's onlinetrainer.com/academy. See what happens when I memorize things? I don't. Now we can start the show, I think. We're not.
I'm not sure if I want to.
Do it, John. Do it.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Goodman.
I need more, Jonathan.
Online Trainer Show.
There's more show there, Jonathan. Go deep for me. Give me
today's episode 20, and I'm apathetic about this entire endeavor. We've made it this far. Fairly certain we're going to continue despite all of our best efforts. And today we are talking about how to convey, value? Yeah, value. Today we're talking about how to convey value, which I'm not doing a very good job of right now in this introduction.
Ironically.
How ironic.
This is the Online Trainer Show. Trainer Show. Trainer Show. This is the Online Trainer Show. We shouldn't have a podcast. Well, I need a drink. So here we are at episode
I feel
20.
like there's just kind of this everlasting flow of just like, we do good, we do not so good. We do good, we do not so good. We do good, we do not so good.
And then it's like, alarm. Yeah, we're doing good. Let's mess it up on purpose because this can't be.
We gotta cut.
So good.
We are
really good at online training, though. We know online training inside and out. But like
very good at
podcasting,
very solid.
I feel like we're not bad at podcasting, but I feel like traditionally we just don't quite understand how podcasting should be done.
Probably not.
Which I don't know, maybe we're like inventing a better way that we're going to stumble upon, or maybe we're just going to stumble. Who knows?
I mean, we are huge in Romania, so hello. Like,
right.
It's okay. I mean, we're okay.
I think it's actually our USP. I think this is our unique selling, podcasting proposition, the USPP.
The Online Trainer Show. We're huge in Romania.
right. I USPP just before this podcast. So
you told me you got a couple messages.
Yeah, I did.
Like wedding proposition messages from Romanians, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They asked you to come out there for a tour as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's not because of the podcast. Just because of a show I did a couple of years ago. I don't want to get into it. I was hard up for money. So here we are. We're at the Dos Equis episode of our podcast. That's a Spanish thing, right? That's two times. Yeah, 2 times. Okay, so So we're going to talk about value. But before we do that, there's more than just me and Jonathan. You've heard her laugh in the background so far, and a few comments here or there. But I always like to check in with our in the field correspondent, Catalina Bellamare. She's vacationing now, cutting time out of her very important vacation to spend a little bit of that time with us. In her bikini and beach robe. She's going all out here. Keto, what's you're an international woman of mystery. What's going on in your world right now, Keto? Share with the people.
Today is a super happy day. I haven't spoken about this online at all, but this is real. Today, I'm gonna go pick up my new car.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my old vehicle was dying. It was on the verge of leaving me on some side road somewhere, and it was just awful. And because I'm still a single mom, I have 3 kids, I take care of my bills and everything, but I was able to get my act together so that this could happen, and now it's happening. And today I get to pick up a new family vehicle, which is amazing. And yeah, awesome. I mean, not I don't want to plug this in so shamelessly, but honestly, like, online training made this possible. I don't know how else to say it. Online training made this possible. So yes.
Yeah, onlinetrainer.com/academy.
Yeah, /academy. Yeah.
Yes.
Jonathan Goodman promises you a new car. Thanks.
How this single mother from Mexico that moved to Toronto was able to buy a new car with 3 kids in a small town outside of a bigger town.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the best endorsement we can get. I didn't know this, by the way, listeners. Like, we didn't prefabricate this endorsement. It's Keto's real life. That's awesome, man. You guys are getting real fancy on this show recently. Jonathan with his Tesla and his bespoke Chipotle. And Catalina with her new car. Jonathan got something else new recently. I can't remember what. Oh no, yeah, furniture and all this. Like, you guys are getting like high on the horse now. High on the hog is what we say in the South. Amber's probably heard that term before. Getting real high on the hog, boy. I don't want to get high or low on the hog personally, but it's what they say in the South. But Jonathan, so what's up with you, man? What's new with you besides Chipotle deliverables?
Chipotle, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to my Chipotle later on. What's new with me, man? We are getting super excited for online trainer coaching for OTC. That's going to be coming out. It's the first time I've ever said the name publicly. So this is our coaching service. It's a fitness coaching service specifically for personal trainers, nutrition coaches, and gym owners. And I am super excited. It's coming together better than I ever expected it to, both the marketing of it and also the actual program delivery of it. Man, it's going to be fun for people to see. I mean, number one, they're going to really get to see from behind the scenes, like, what a real great online training business looks like operationally. Mm-hmm. But also, they're also going to see exactly what world-class programming looks like.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Which is, I think, something that a lot of us as trainers just simply aren't. It's not put in front of our faces that much. Like,
right.
I trained clients for 8 years. I was never once taught how to actually program aerobic and anaerobic exercise. Literally never taught that. I never once programmed any kind of aerobic or anaerobic training into my clients' workouts, let alone know how to fit that in with any kind of strength training for whatever goals you have, like how it fits in, how it doesn't fit in, how you progress it, what are appropriate variations of it, and how you track it and how you get a client to track it, and then based off those variables, how you, again, progress it, moderate it, whatever. And so I think it's going to be really fun for people to get to see the behind the scenes of that. So super, 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 super psyched on that one. We're putting it out. I don't know when this is going live, but August 4th is going to be the first. Basically, we're starting to market the first cohort. Right. But that's only going to be for Online Trainer Academy students and alumni, because we're only doing 100 spots for the first one. And then the first public cohort we're going to do is going to be November. So I will definitely keep you guys up to date with kind of how that's going and what it's built. or how it's built and how it's put together, but it's pretty cool. We're doing a lot of things that, quite frankly, I've never seen done before. The mixture of small group accountability, personalized programming and coaching, and then leveraging tech and automation to make it cost effective. I mean, to be able to bring trainers and coaches who charge $300 an hour to you and work with you personally by leveraging tech and automation for less than they charge for 2 sessions for 12 weeks is pretty cool.
Man, it sounds exactly like the plot of the first Terminator movie. I love this, man.
How so?
Yeah. Better not cry, I'm telling you why. OTC is coming to town. You heard it here first from Jonathan Goodman. Wow, I mean, like that was, you're probably a pretty good writer, man, because that was just a compelling story about, about training people. You said leverage and automated and technology, and I was enraptured.
What we're really doing is we're gonna ask you to outsource your fitness to us. You can save time, get results, and discover firsthand how a great online training service works. Introducing the world's first online training service specifically designed for male and female personal trainers, gym owners, and nutrition coaches. Online trainer coaching. It's time for you to finally put your fitness first. I'm reading off of the sales page.
Online trainer coaching. I love it. So that's one great way to add value. Insert segue here. What about adding value to our clients, Jonathan? Our topic for today, Keto and I are riveted. Amber is, as always, indifferent and apathetic. But talk to us a little bit about, the features versus benefits, offering value. The people want to know.
Well, we're not actually talking about offering value. So we're talking about conveying value.
Oh, okay. Conveying value. The semantics matter, and I appreciate your correction.
It's basically a completely different thing than what you were talking about. But
as always. I'd like to say I'm embarrassed, but I'm so indifferent, I just don't care that you corrected me.
I'm apathetic.
I feel like I've learned something today.
Yeah, I'm apathetic. The most important, as we noted at the beginning, the most important thing about conveying value is understanding the difference between benefits and features. And this comes down to logic versus emotion. So basically, a feature is logical, a benefit is emotional, and I'll talk about why in a moment. And emotion sells, logic justifies. So if you want to hook somebody in with whatever you're talking about, well, then you've got to hook them based off of some sort of emotional appeal.
Right.
Which means it actually doesn't really matter what's in your program or what you deliver to your clients. Like, you don't need to stress over how many phone calls should I include, how often should I send them their programs, all that kind of stuff. Because the truth of the matter is, if you can convey emotion effectively, if you can convey the benefits of what you do effectively, clients don't really care about the other part. Jonathan, what matters is that they kind of get to their goals, and then some people need that like logical justification afterwards. What it seems like is that, like, give or take 20% of people need that logical justification in order to buy, whereas about 80% buy without, or would buy without. Right. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
Yeah, I try not to ever interrupt you, but I just need you to repeat what you said, because it comes out so often about the features. You said it really doesn't depend on the specific bullet point listing features that you're going to toil over for a week of what because this comes up a lot, like a whole lot. Could you just repeat that? Think
about the difference. Think about the biggest advantage that online training has over in-person training. You are now not forced into a number of constraints in how you offer your service. Now, your only job is what a personal trainer and nutrition coach's job always should have been, which is optimize the plan in order to get your client the results that he or she desires as quickly, as seamlessly, as painlessly as possible. That's literally all you do. In a gym, you've got a number of constraints based off of billing constraints, overhead constraints, scheduling constraints, whatever, location, of course. Online, you don't. And so a lot of trainers we find, I mean, basically all trainers go from like an in-person to to online. So they bring with them a whole bunch of stuff that they believe has to be the case. Like, oh, we have to do sessions. Oh, I have to deliver programs. Oh, I have to get on the phone with clients. I have to do this. I have to do that. You might, but you also might not.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is that you give a client what they need, when they need it, how they need it in order to get to where they want to go, optimized for that person, which you can do really, really effectively. Clients, if you are able to communicate the benefits effectively, you know, why they want to, like, what is your emotional appeal? Why does the person want to change on a deep level? The better you understand that, the better you're able to communicate that specific to them, the less they're going to care about how you achieve that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody coming to you to help them with their fitness generally has some sort of pain that they want to go away as quickly and with as little work as possible. That's the reality. It's not everybody, of course. You know, us trainers, us people in the fitness industry, like, we like to train. Like, I like to work out because I like to work out. That's not the majority of people. That's not the majority of people you're going to work with. And so actually telling some people that there's more stuff involved, even though you might think that you're adding them more value, could be a deterrent to them signing up. Oh, well, yeah, we're going to do a phone call every week to check in with their progress. And then I'm going to give you a new program all this time, and I'm going to check in with you every day. It's like, that would be a deterrent to most clients.
Yeah, especially if they're busy, overwhelmed, if they already feel like it's too much. Yeah, overkill, right?
That.
Mm-hmm.
And I've hired a whole bunch of online trainers. I think every trainer should hire their trainer, which is why we're offering online trainer coaching too. But look, I mean, I've hired a lot of online trainers. I don't want to talk to you every week, every 2 weeks, man. I don't have anything to say to you. Like, so the features of what is actually in your program, you actually don't even really need to list them. It's kind of what people ask if they don't know what else to ask, if they're not quite sold on you, because it seems like an easy question that masks the actual question, which is almost always, why should I do this now? Why should I choose you?
Right.
How will this help me better than something that I've tried and failed before?
Yeah.
And so you say, oh, like, how often do I get new programs? Like, well, I mean, if a client asks that, odds that they actually care about how often they get a new program is pretty small. And so if you answer their question, you're actually doing them a disservice, and you're basically never going to make the sale. So instead, and this is where like motivational interviewing is really powerful in sales. This is what we teach our students all over the place in Online Trainer Academy level 1 and 2 is sales is curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why are you asking that? What do you want to achieve with a new program? Yeah, I'm just curious. Oh, cool. So you think a new program, often will help you adapt better. What is it? Like, again, I'm just really curious. Like I want to make sure that I work with you as best as possible. How do you think that that's going to help you get to where you want to go? Okay, cool. And what you do is you start to bring this information out, is you start to hear what their real problem. Maybe they worked with a trainer previous who didn't update their program often enough, or they felt like they didn't update their program often enough. So then you could talk to that situation specifically and how you're going to do it different, or how you're going to communicate with them differently. That other trainer might have been good. They might not have needed to have an updated program. That trainer just didn't communicate with them. But you don't really know what it is. And to say, oh yeah, no, I'll give you a new program every 4 weeks. It's like, it's not actually what they're asking.
That makes sense. I totally get that. So, so we run down all the benefits, run down all the features. Really don't need to do that because they don't really know what it means anyway. It's like it's like when I take my car in for service and they've got this bullet point of, our 36 checkpoint system. Right. After number 1, I don't know what the words mean. But I'm glad that there are 36. Is the car going to run when I leave? Right. Is this basically what I'm asking? Hey, will the noise go away? So So what we want to do in the online space is we want to dive into the emotion. Kettle, this might be an unrelated question, but I think it is. Have you had instances where you're on the phone with a client as you're running through your sales process, you're digging deep into the emotions and they burst into tears?
Yes,
Have we all had that? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You want me to talk about that a bit?
It just a bit. We're short on time. I don't want to take too much of Jonathan's time, but
yeah.
But I think it's important for online coaches out there to realize, like, this is where the sale happens, not I've got 16 different programs that will blah blah blah. So real quick, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of the most important things to remember is that change and decision making has to happen not only at a logical level, but also at an emotional level. And for that, the book Switch, How to Change When Change is Hard, is fantastic because they explain really well, like the concept of the elephant and the rider. The rider is the one that directs the big elephant riding on the right. It directs, it tells it where to go. But at the end of the day, the elephant, which are our emotions, if they run amok, there's no strength in the rider to control the massiveness of that elephant. The elephant is going to do what the elephant is going to do, right? And so with that in mind, is like, it's amazing that you have your bullet points and your information, but at the same time, how are you going to create an emotional response in the person so that they're truly sold in that you are the solution to their burning problem of feeling out of shape, or feeling like your marriage is out of shape because of how you look and how down you are and how unsupported you feel. Like, those are the things that matter. And until, as a trainer, you feel comfortable getting there and digging into that, that's when you're really going to see a change in how your sales end up.
Absolutely.
Think about how much momentum is pushed by that. Think about, I mean, so there's so much when you get deep into that. I like that elephant and the rider analogy. I've heard it 1,000 times. I think it's powerful and poignant. But think about how much momentum is going to be moving one direction when you start to understand the emotional side of this and the benefits of this. Right. And sometimes you need that logical justification.
Yeah.
But the logical justification is often not like a merit-based logical justification. You need some, I kind of go back to this, and I kind of look at like skin in the game. You need some measure of like, okay, this is going to be the thing for me. This is where like kind of a website comes in handy, because it's not that anybody really cares what you're offering. It's that they see that they know what's to come. It's almost like a comfort. Like think about when you either signed up for the Online Trainer Academy, or you're thinking about signing up and you went to our webpage, and maybe you haven't quite signed up yet, but you're going to after you listen to this podcast right now. And what at onlinetrainer.com/academy. And what you go to that page, right? Think about this from your own perspective, trying to solve a problem for you, where you're trying to either remove yourself from a situation that you're not happy with. Maybe you work in another industry and you're trying to move to fitness, or maybe you're in the fitness industry and you're not quite happy with what you're doing, or you're just already doing well in the fitness industry and you want to keep doing better and better and better, and this is a way of leveling up. Whatever your situation is, you have a pain, right?
Right.
And you see this as potentially a solution for that pain. Are you really going through the table of contents? Like, do you actually know? Maybe you're looking at the table of contents, don't get me wrong, but do you actually know whether that's right or not right? Exactly. I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, can you actually judge whether what's included in the course is exactly what needs to be included, and whether there's anything missing or not missing in there?
You can't know.
You can't really, but you can do this. And I kind of do this too, which is, I'll look at like the ingredients. I'll look at the components of something. I'm doing it because it gives me a little bit of comfort, kind of after I've decided already to buy something.
Right.
It gives me that little bit of comfort in knowing what's to come.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it fits in, which is why we say emotion drives action, logic justifies. And I think I wrote that first in like 2012 in an article. Mm-hmm. That's actually one of the lines that's probably been ripped off from me just about as much as anything else.
I know I have.
I'm going to put that in a banner and publish it as my own.
Yeah, well, to be honest,
pretty much. It's my plan.
There are some things that I wrote where I can like remember myself almost like having some sort of moment of like, yeah, that's how it comes together. Like that's one of the beautiful things about language to me, is when you come across a quote that so succinctly and eloquently and poignantly sums up a thought that we all kind of have, but it's kind of hard to verbalize.
Mhm.
And that's why I love quotes so much. I mean, I collect quotes, and I collect like pieces of writing that I love.
And he collects the souls of his enemies.
And I collect the souls
Pretty
of
much.
my enemies.
Pretty
But
much.
no, I don't really have any enemies. I'm a pretty happy guy. There are people who I maybe don't talk to as much, but I don't really have any enemies. But I'm a pretty happy guy. You'd have a hard time making me upset. Things are pretty good.
Whatever story gives you comfort, Jonathan.
But there are
Burn.
but there are like certain this is going off the rails.
So quotes, you love quotes.
No,
you love
this
language,
quote, this benefit
It's
drives
true.
action, logic, emotion drives action, logic justifies it. I don't
I
actually
love
know
that.
if I'm the one who came up with that, because I can't remember myself actually thinking about it.
Right.
So my guess is I read it somewhere else and just have completely forgot about where I heard it from and can't attribute it, which is horrible. But there are other pieces of where it's just like, yeah, no, I like remember where that came from.
And back to remember what we were talking about a few episodes ago about the person who, like, upon seeing the textbook, they were like, well, ain't nobody going through all that trouble for no shitty course kind of thing. Like, it's like, Absolutely. That was a confirmation that you were serious in your industry. So like the website or like the table of contents provides that same certainty that this is, that this is serious. So your outline of what you're going to offer your clients will be that sense of, safety for your clients, that you're serious about this. But again, don't feel constrained into the box of what you said you would give, because at the end of the day, what your clients want is results, and how to get those results is going to vary depending on their personality, their style, their life, everything.
I think that's the key point. Think about why we buy brands and why we pay premiums for brands. Mm-hmm. You can buy a no-name Japanese TV for hundreds of dollars less than a Sony or Panasonic that has better specs. So why do we buy the Sony or the Panasonic and basically never buy the no-name? Everybody listening to this, do you have a TV that is not one of the 3 brand names? If you walk into a store, you can actually see there are a lot of options out there that have better specs, that are probably better TVs. The reason is that human beings as a species, our buying decisions are much more dependent upon believing that something or convincing ourselves that something isn't going to be crap than buying what we think is going to be the best.
Right.
Because we kind of intuitively know that the best is actually kind of irrelevant for most things that we want to achieve, but we just don't want to make a mistake.
Right.
And so we look at markers of legitimacy unconsciously. And I think this is fascinating because we all do it. And it's unconscious. Somebody like Sony or Panasonic, the reason why brands are valuable is because we intuitively know that they have much less to lose by producing a crap product. Mm-hmm. Because they've invested so much more into their brand. Mm. As a result, we know that odds are whatever we buy from them is going to be pretty good. It probably isn't going to be the best, but it's going to be pretty good. And so we buy from them. And we pay way more to buy the same thing from them because of that reason. When I come across somebody new in the industry, a colleague or something like that, or if I get introduced to somebody, the first thing I do is I will Google them and I'll look at what they've produced. Mm-hmm. And it's not, again, it's a data point. It's not the only thing that I'll look at. But if that person has produced something, if they have a body of work or a website that looks like it took some thought and some money, or they've been around for a long time putting out content, immediately I know that they're worth getting to know better because they've invested in that. Right. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody who doesn't have that is not worth getting knowing. But odds are, if you have that, if somebody has a physical book that they've written or a nice looking, well put together website or whatever, right? If they have those things, I'm immediately all right, they've got some skin in the game. They've got a brand, they're serious about this thing. Mm-hmm. They didn't just fire out some ads and I've never heard of them, no matter how good the ads are. Mm-hmm. customers do this intuitively. And I look for stuff like that. And I think showcasing what you have, you know, these features kind of comes in there. It's like, have you actually thought about how you present yourself? It says a lot. The specifics of how you present yourself says a lot less. But the seriousness with which you present yourself says a lot.
And that's a scary thought in terms of this podcast. Seeing my podcast career flash before my eyes as you articulate that. So to wrap this up, because Amber's she's giving me it's time face. Wrap it up, B. You know, the gentle but awkward smile, you know, that says, I'm tolerating this, but I'm not really happy about it. That's the smile she's giving me. So just to summarize, you know, sort of providing value, to Carol's point, is sort of an extension of understanding the emotion of the person, right? I can't appropriately apply value when I don't understand the emotional context of the human being. I'm going to provide the wrong thing. I will mistakenly defer to features, you know, instead of benefits if I don't understand the person. So I got to dig deep. We learned that in OTA too, digging a little bit deeper. Shout out to you, Igor. I know you're the dig deep man. You know, secondarily to that, you know, sort of how I'm structured business-wise, it can provide a background, it's the safety belt of the vehicle. You know, they're going to get in the vehicle based on emotion. They want to go. That seat belt is sort of the structures around it. You can look at my content. You can look at my website. You can look at the features. And that's the secondary thing. You know, getting in the cars first. Secondary thing is, you know, click. That's the click. Secondarily, you know, so we need to do a better job at, one, understanding and interpreting the emotions. Number two, providing a solution, providing a conversation that talks about solving the problem, not about not about the methodology by which we're going to solve it. And that will allow us to provide greater value to our clients. Right. Is that sort of what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
I love how you summarize things. You're so good at this.
I just love to summarize things. You know, I'm a walking Cliff Notes. I don't know what you call it in Canada.
It's almost as if you've been listening this whole time.
Right.
Almost.
Right. It's amazing. It's like I was awake from the time you started talking and kept listening. Which that never. By the way, Amber, do you have anything to add here today? Oh, but my favorite Jonathan Goodman quote, and Amber, can you facilitate this? Can you get this onto our infographic next week? My favorite quote from today was, "You might, but you also might not." Jonathan Goodman. Don't even give it any context. That's just an amazing quote. You might, but you also might not. That shifted, you know, the paradigm of my life, Jonathan, when you said you might, but you also might let. It solved so many issues for me. You can't understand how that touched me deeply. It's just so much value, just incredible value. In regards to value, you might, but you also might not. Jonathan Goodman. That's going to be on your headstone, my friend. This has been episode 20. We got to talk about show notes, because we got show notes. I need to get my paper for the show notes, because I'm never familiar with the show notes portion. But you can go to onlinetrainer.com/podcast. Oh, that should be much easier to remember, because we're on the podcast and it's the Online Trainer Show. onlinetrainer.com/podcast. Show notes. Meth out gators. Let's keep those meth out. Things coming. We've also got Jonathan and the purple monkey dishwasher thing. What was that, Jonathan? Purple monkey
fan art. Art.
So we want that fan art. We want the methamphetamine. This is what the meth is short for, not methodology. We want the meth out gators, just for clarity, and we want the purple monkey dishwasher artwork for Jonathan Goodman. And leave us a comment, leave us a review. This has been episode 20. 21 is already teed up. We already don't know what we're going to talk about, and we can't wait to bring that to you. So we'll see you next time on the Online Trainer Show. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode.
Peaks and valleys. Peaks and valleys, my friends. This was a valley. Okay. All right. Talk soon.